In this episode, Amelia and I take a step away from the camper, trading the truck and trailer for an airplane and an Airbnb. We are headed to Charleston, South Carolina, a place we've heard nothing but wonderful things about. Of course, we'll check out all the must-see spots, including the monstrous houses, the Charleston Market, King Street, and all of the great food. But we're also venturing away from the touristy norm and taking a self-guided canoe tour through a cypress swamp filled with wild alligators. Spend the next 30 minutes with us as we fall in love with Charleston, all while sharing it with you. We're Connor and Amelia. Welcome to Living Large Camping.
Made it to Charleston. Really easy flight. It was like 2 hours takeoff to landing, and it was only like 22-minute Uber from the airport over to Mount Pleasant where we are staying.
We have a lot of fun plans for you guys on this trip as well as for ourselves. Connor doesn't really know quite what we're doing. I just kind of did the research per usual, and I think it's going to be a very fun time. But tonight it is 4:30. We're pretty hungry, so we're going to go get some dinner, and we'll just see you guys in the morning.
Good morning from downtown Charleston. We had a wonderful Uber ride from our Airbnb over to downtown. She kind of made it like a tour, and she dropped us off here at Rainbow Row.
This is where we're starting. We'll take you guys from Rainbow Row all the way down towards the tip of the peninsula. So I think it's going to be beautiful. It's cloudy today, but it feels really good. So couldn't ask for a better day to walk around.
We also got a ton of great restaurant recommendations, and it's going to be lunchtime and then dinner at some point today. So we're going to have to check some of those out, and we're going to go see it all with you right now.
So it shows that Rainbow Road was established to preserve them and avoid demolition. One lady started it, painted her building pink, and then the rest of the neighbors kind of followed suit and chose their colors, and that is why it's called Rainbow Road. Nothing really crazy. They're built in 1680, which is very old, so they're gorgeous.
Our driver was talking about the cobblestone streets and how well known they are in this area, and she was laughing because at some point they had to put up signs that say no bicycles allowed because people would just turn the corner and fall off of their bikes, which I probably would do the same because you just kind of think that it would be fine to ride on, and then all of a sudden you hit a big one and you're on the ground. So signs are there for a reason, but the cobblestone streets are definitely very cool.
It looks very cool, but it is extremely hard to walk on, especially backwards. I mean, even forwards, I feel like I'm gonna roll an ankle.
One thing she was talking about a lot was the fact that Charleston's shoreline isn't buildable, and there's not a lot of actual waterfront here, and a big part of that is because when they used to send ships over here to drop off exports and different items and stuff like that, the boats used to use rocks and stones as their ballast weight. Now in these days, boats have a very large water holding tank that they use as ballast. That way whenever they're crossing over the seas and you get high winds and high waves and everything, the ballast helps stabilize the boat. But back before they had established that technology there, they used to use rocks and stones. And when they got here, they dumped them all off on the water's edge, and that has created a basically fake waterfront. You can't build on it because it's just rock and it's not an actual foundation. But it's really cool, the fact that they would just come over here, dump them off, and to this day, all that stuff is still around.
We have maybe been only walking around for 20 or so minutes, and there are two things I would take away from Charleston as a whole. One is the homes here, and the other one are the trees. I feel like I am back in Savannah just looking up at these gorgeous, massive trees. Some of them are covered in their Spanish moss, some aren't. We keep walking around, and all I keep saying is, oh my God, look at that tree, look at that house. So if you guys love kind of looking at stuff like that, I would highly recommend Charleston. This has been on our list for a very long time, and to actually be here is just so cool. And yeah, I don't think probably photos do this place justice. You'd have to come here and see it yourself.
A majority of these massive trees that are scattered around Charleston throughout this part and all of the neighborhoods are live oak trees, and they do live for a very long time. There is one called the angel oak tree. I don't know how old that one is. A few hundred years? 500 something years old? Some people say 1,000 apparently. So crazy old trees, but they're massive and they're gorgeous. And if you know us, we love trees.
Now we are at Battery, which is a park just at the southern tip of the peninsula of Charleston, and it is known for a defensive seawall to keep the enemies away back when they used to have forts everywhere. But we did just run into some viewers.
So thank you guys for watching all the way up from Quebec, Canada. That is really cool, and it's crazy to see. You know, we just flew here randomly on the weekend and running into people. So if you see us,
Quebec.
please stop us, because we always love chatting with you guys. But it's cool and definitely makes us feel pretty humble that we're inspiring people.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah, did you say that they just started this year, just retired and got into a camper, and they're doing full time like we used to. So it's very cool to see what these videos do for people. Thanks,
How about
guys.
that? In Charleston. How cool. Our only non-camping related video that we've done so far with travel. And that's something we're trying to at least just get into a little bit more in 2025. We do have some plans on some pretty cool places that we're going to go that just aren't realistic to bring a camper. So hopefully we're doing a good job of showing this place off and still keeping it natural with our style of videos. If we are, let us know in the comments and tell us what we can improve on too, because that's just as important.
I know Connor keeps saying like he feels like this video is a little different than our normal videos, but honestly, I don't feel like it is a little bit too different, only because I feel like the last few videos we've been kind of getting more into showing you guys towns, traveling, and stuff like that, and it hasn't been too camper focused, whereas like camping in general, you are visiting new towns and trying to see new places and explore. So I feel like as a general idea, we're kind of still doing the same thing, just our camper isn't here. So like he said, if you guys are liking these videos or just don't mind really the switch up, just let us know. It does make us nervous trying to do something different and losing you guys, because we want to keep it true to us. So let us know. Feedback always is very appreciated. We are probably about halfway through kind of the historical sighting self-walk tour that we've made up ourselves. Our Uber driver was telling us that she recommended Fleet Landing, which is the only restaurant on the water, and we figured if she suggested it and it's on the water, we're gonna go to it, so that is where we're headed.
As we're walking down Broad Street towards our lunch spot at Fleet Landing, we passed a place called the Blind Tiger. Now, Bree, our driver, was telling us that this is a place that used to be connected to a liquor store, and back in the Prohibition era, there was laws, obviously, against being able to sell alcohol. Now, one thing that there wasn't laws about was being able to provide it for shows. So this place came up with the idea that they're gonna sell tickets to a show called The Tiger, or a show to come see a tiger. And when you get there, all of a sudden they come out and say, oh, so sorry, our tiger has gone blind. But while you're here, here are your drink vouchers for coming to see the show. So, pretty unique way to get around all the Prohibition laws. Very unique, and I don't know, just fun little facts about the city.
very excited for these. Salty. Wow.
We just finished up with a great lunch here at Fleet's Landing. We did some oysters and a fish dip spread for an app, and then we had a salad and some tuna tartare for the rest of the meal. We tend to like to do just lighter apps for lunch, and it always works out great. We did have some local Charleston oysters as well as some from the Prince Edward Islands area up in Canada, and they were really tasty. And actually, as I'm looking over the edge here at the water, it is just filled with oyster shells, which is kind of wild to see. It doesn't smell bad, which is good, but it's just, yep, mounds of oyster shells. Now we're gonna spend the afternoon walking around the Charleston market, and then also gonna go over to King Street. That way we can see all of the shops and kind of the main downtown area of this place.
Is that your boyfriend? Is he vlogging? What's his YouTube channel? So we just got maybe some new subscribers. That was really funny. I am very full. I'm excited that we get to kind of walk it all off and stretch our legs a little bit more after lunch, but highly recommend. We weren't gonna go, like I said, till Bree, the driver, told us to go. I would recommend to anyone to go. Good seafood. Wouldn't get the tartare, but everything else was delicious.
And it's on the water.
And it was on the water. They had the windows closed because it was really breezy and pretty chilly today, hence the sweaters, but on another day when it's breezy but hot, I could see it being pretty ideal. So there's a few things about why Pineapple Fountain is such a landmark for people to visit. One says it symbolizes wealth and hospitality, and then some others show what the pineapple represents is that sea captains would come home, and in order to show like friends and family they were back at their house, they would put a pineapple outside, and so that symbolized they were home and people were welcome to come in, aka hospitality.
In the camping community, pretty sure a pineapple means something very different. So not used to seeing those as a good thing.
I will say, look it up before you go putting a pineapple outside of your camper, because it doesn't quite mean the hospitality you're thinking about. Now we're gonna go check out the market.
Lots of very cool local artists and different setups going through the market there. It is a lot of things, and some of them get repetitive with a lot of the woven baskets and just t-shirts and stuff like that. But there are some very cool things nevertheless in there. Now we're gonna make our way towards King Street. It's just 2 streets over from here, and go see what's all over there.
So we just got to King Street, which is honestly more of their downtown shopping area. They have a few boutiques, but also some, bigger brands that are well known, like Target, Brooks Brothers, Johnny O, stuff like that. So we're just kind of walking, looking around, enjoying all the Christmas decorations, and then it's probably it. I don't know if we're shopping today, but it's cute to be outside, good weather. Can't ask for a better day.
This is obviously the much more commercial part of Charleston, but we still wanted to come walk around and see it because the buildings are all old and very pretty as well. And we only traveled in 1 suitcase on the way here, so nothing that we have room for that we can get, nor do we really need anything because we just don't. Still fun to walk around and see it all. And again, like she said, it's all decorated for the season.
Tough life, huh? Tough life.
For anybody wondering, Barkley does travel with us pretty much everywhere. Usually it's in the camper and it's very easy, but he has flown on planes many of times. Whenever he was Amelia's mom's dog or their family dog, he used to travel on the plane pretty often, and it's so easy. He just hangs out underneath the seat, usually ends up taking a nice nap, but doesn't need like sleeping medicine or anything like that. So he's just chilling, and he's older, so After the 2 or so miles we've already walked today, it's time for him to get a little bit of a ride. One of the last things we wanted to do today before we head back to our Airbnb is to walk around the College of Charleston campus. It is right here off of King Street, so we didn't have to go very far out of our way to get here, but it just seems like a really pretty area and figured we might as well go and see some of the cool buildings. Usually college campuses are very nice and well maintained and pretty, so we might as well experience it, see what these people that come here and spend 4 years of their life get to walk through every day, and I don't know, just see if it's a cool spot.
Let's just see if we want to do college again, maybe. Eh?
No.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. You say that you're from out of town. I'm hoping that you stick around. Show me what it's
I've been really curious because we have the Spanish moss everywhere that we've been walking around in, and it's the same as what we saw whenever we were in Savannah like 2 years ago. So I was looking it up, and it shows that Spanish moss is just native to the southern, and it's part of all the ecosystems. So it's home for animals like birds and spiders, and then it also used to be used as upholstery before synthetic fabrics were invented. So kind of cool. It just naturally grows on all these trees, and it makes them look amazing. One of my favorite parts for sure. We're exhausted. We're gonna
Yes,
call
we
that
are.
a day. Oh, we're gonna call that a wrap on day 2 of exploring Charleston. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some new adventures.
Woo! Good night, guys.
This place is gorgeous.
So pretty. I'm gonna dream about it.
Connor here from the future. While we try to have our equipment working top notch for you guys every week, sometimes we do make a mistake like I did whenever we were in Charleston on day 2. I forgot our microphones and I didn't have the GoPro recording audios correctly. But that's okay, we still have all of the great footage, so I'm going to narrate it through here with you guys while we take you and explore through Cypress Gardens.
What?
Is it working now? I just ruined this whole day.
No.
I forgot the microphones earlier, and then whenever I was playing with the GoPro, I had it plugged into the mics that we didn't bring, so it didn't record a single audio clip from that whole entire canoe ride. Sorry.
Oh no.
That's
Don't
all
want us
me.
to Go back on?
I don't know if we can go redo it again. We'll just talk through it.
Yeah.
We got enough good video clips that it'll be fine, but
Aww.
dang.
Okay. Oh no.
Sorry.
I feel so bad. Connor's having a really tough day today.
I forgot all the mics. We were in a
Aw.
rush and I didn't bring with us, so things happen when you're trying to remember everything.
Located about 30 miles north of downtown Charleston, Cypress Gardens is a 170-acre park with an 80-acre black water swamp. You can take a narrated tour or hop on a flat-bottom boat for a self-guided adventure through the connecting swamps that takes right about an hour. Amelia has taken the reins of planning our days once we get to our destination, and usually her goal is to find something to do that is away from the norm of all the typical touristy attractions, and Cypress Gardens is definitely one of those spots. Since we do love spending time outdoors and always have such a great time in canoes, spending our morning navigating Cypress Gardens was the perfect activity here in Charleston. Without knowing it, you've likely already seen parts of this swamp before, There are many notable movie scenes that are filmed here in Cypress Gardens, especially at places like this bridge that we are crossing under now. This is where one of the scenes from The Notebook was filmed. There are also movies like The Patriot and certain episodes of the new show The Outer Banks on Netflix.
Ready? I'm gonna push us. Gator.
One of the craziest parts of the self-guided tour is the fact that there are wild American alligators scattered throughout the swamp.
Holy crap. That one makes me a little scared.
The American alligator can live up to 50 years old, all while growing over 10 feet long and weighing almost 1,000 pounds. Thankfully, these alligators have a natural fear of humans, and the park attendants were confident that they would not be an issue if they remained undisturbed.
They never move.
It is pretty crazy though that we were able to just paddle right up to these and see such impressive creatures up close. Definitely one of the highlights of our trip.
Nutso. You're getting me closer. Are you meaning to go closer? Ah!
It's been nice because it's like Florida vibes, but not as rude of people.
Once the 45 or hour-long canoe ride was over, we did spend another hour walking around the parks and seeing the remaining 90 acres that surround the swamp. There are so many gorgeous trees and plants in the area, and all of the floating logs and limbs really do make it hard to tell if you're seeing another alligator in the water or just floating debris. We were able to spot a younger alligator on the way out, bringing it to a total of 3 alligators in just under 2 hours.
What do you do if you see a gator?
I was taught in school to run zigzags because they can't go as fast side to side, but if you run straight, they'll get you. Fun fact.
You know, Amelia being from Florida, just some things you just can't get out of her, like that. First time I heard that, I was like, what are you talking about? And yeah, we don't learn those things in Texas.
Sadly, our time here in Charleston is already coming to an end.
We just got back from Cypress Gardens. We originally were going to go on a very pretty sunset sailboat cruise, but they ended up canceling it because of weather. And it is pretty cold, very nasty out and rainy, so those are our plans for tonight.
Definitely something that you take a risk with whenever you pick an activity that is weather focused, or not weather focused, but
Dependent.
susceptible. Yeah, weather dependent. There you go. But it's also why we traveled for more than just like a day or two here. So we're going to end up going to dinner on Sullivan's Island tonight, which is just south of Mount Pleasant where we're staying. It looks like there's a cool restaurant over there and just somewhere else to explore instead of doing the sunset cruise. But either way, we hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of Charleston with us.
We honestly have fallen in love with this town, and we realize why so many other people have. Someone was telling us that Mount Pleasant has grown from 20,000 to 110,000 in the last
Like 7 years?
7 years. So obviously some people have fallen in love, and I see why.
If you've been around the channel for a while and you did like this kind of video that's not exactly camping focused, please let us know in the comments below, because we do want to get into this just a little bit more. That way it breaks things up for us and it gives us kind of some fun ideas to plan throughout the year versus just where can we drive to next and what's along our route. It opens it up to, oh, if we can catch a cheap flight somewhere and go tour a new place, we can do that as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you do, make sure to let us know. And if you're still here and not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below there in the description. Helps us out a ton, and we love doing this for you guys.
Yeah, don't go watching our videos without subscribing. That's rude. Just kidding. All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching.
We'll see you guys in the camper in 2025. Thank you all for a great year. It's been a
Happy
large
New
one.
Year!
We'll have a large one next year too.
Bye, guys.
Nothing is forever, you're so keen on telling me. Everybody's worried, saying that I'm in too deep. Keep it all together, move on to bigger things. Chasing all the highs, 'cause I'm not giving up my dream. No, I'm not giving up my dream. Although you don't believe in me, the only thing I need to know, I find it in my heart and soul. If I could find a word to make peace and a single word that made your heart open, I could have been your good friend until the end. If I could find a word to make peace and a single word that made your heart open, wish I could been your good friend until the end.
Join us next Wednesday as we take a last-minute trip to go pick up an exciting part of our next adventure. More to come on this, but we're going to be headed to some pretty excited places to kick off 2025. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Turning heads.